We'll start you out with what's a beautiful view in Hudson Beach. It's 81 degrees, winds are calm. We have a lot of blue sky, talking a light chop on bay and inland waters. So if you are heading out on the boat today, nice conditions for that. We are going to be watching for scattered thunderstorms. We already have a couple of those offshore. This is a look at our heat index, which already focused right along our area. Feeling like the mid-90s, Key West feeling like 98. So we have the hottest temperatures right now right along our area, and that comes with really high humidity, mid-70s to low 80s. So that's what's making it feel in some cases already 10 degrees warmer than the actual air temperature, which our temperature right now is at 84. And Tampa as well as St. Pete. Upper 70s in the mix as we look to the Nature Coast and inland, but we're going to start to catch up there and top out in the 80s here within the next hour or so. Heat advisories are in place for most of central and our North Florida spots from 11 to 7 o'clock. We're talking feels like forecast up to 110, and we're going to be dealing with these really sweltering feels like temperatures and humidity for a good portion of the afternoon and the evening. How about the rain chances? Well, those will land a bit earlier in the afternoon. By 1 o'clock, we are going to start to see some skies darken up. Thunderstorms will develop with the potential for locally heavy rain and frequent lightning right around the lunchtime time frame. So I have it paused here at noon. Notice right along our beaches, we are going to start to deal with the pop-up thunderstorms. If you are hoping to head out today, make sure you're staying weather aware, as there is going to be that earlier start right along our Tampa Bay and our coastal communities. You see it there by 2 o'clock. Areas up near the Nature Coast, maybe Crystal River, down the coast to Sarasota. Starting to fill in the radar for the first portion of the afternoon. Thunderstorms then spread inland. So 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll start to focus on areas maybe around Polk County, Highlands County for those scattered thunderstorms, which will then continue through around sunset and will slowly taper down the activity by 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. It does look like heaviest coverage, though, is going to be close to the west coast, with winds primarily coming in out of the east. As we check on Hurricane Aaron, the 8 o'clock advisory just in, and we have seen this strengthen even more from the 5 o'clock advisory, that special advisory that we had. Winds up to 130 miles per hour, now 145 mile per hour. Sustained winds with Hurricane Aaron. This is just to the north of the Caribbean islands. It's not going to make a direct hit on those islands, but through the weekend we are talking dangerous surf and rip currents for the Caribbean. Then that spreads into the Bahamas, our east coast areas, and to Bermuda as we get to the early part of next week. While this stays offshore, look at that. It's still expected to be a major hurricane, likely close to 125, 30 mile per hour winds as it passes off our east coast, skirts right along Bermuda, and then curves back out to sea. So not a bad track with the system, though it is still going to be bringing impacts to the islands. But it's able to find a weakness in this ridge of high pressure and basically ride up and around this ridge, staying well offshore for us. But the large swells are going to be felt all along the Atlantic coast as this parallels the east coast through next week. So we pause you here right around Wednesday. You see the wave heights from, say, Daytona Beach up to Jacksonville Beach. And this green color here, we're looking at 6 to 9 feet. And we could possibly see some wave heights topping out just above 10 feet. This is going to come through the middle of this week. And look at that as it spreads up to parts of the Carolinas, and even seeing those really high wave heights as we head further north along the Atlantic coast. So we are going to be watching this for days through next week. But actually, as it starts to get just to the north of us, we go from 40 and 50% storm coverage to drier air, as on the backside of Hurricane Aaron, we will start to get some of that drier air in the mid levels of the atmosphere that gets pulled in up and around that area of low pressure, with all of the moisture focused pretty far off our east coast positions. And so we really start to thin out the storm chances as we get to the middle and end of this upcoming week. For today, low 90s right along the immediate coast, mid 90s inland. Feels like temperatures 105 to 110. So take it easy out there with the peak heating of the afternoon. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Find the shade when you can. As for overnight lows tonight, showers and storms wind down with mid 70s inland to right around 80 degrees for Tampa. Out on the water today, winds out of the northeast, northwest later on, running around 5 knots. Seas 1 foot or less. Light chop on the bay. Gulf temperature is sitting right at 89 degrees. We passed our high tide at about 7:15 this morning, with a low tide around 3:30 this afternoon. 50% storm coverage on Sunday, and then we wind down the storm chances by Wednesday of this upcoming week.